So honestly, that was nowhere near as bad a movie as I thought it was going to be. Batman versus Superman: The Dawn of Justice. It's a 3 hour movie. Well, the edition, which is what I watched, is 3 hours long. The first hour, I think, has one, maybe two action sequences in it. The second hour has maybe one. And then the last hour, well, the last hour has 99% of the action in the movie, and also is a jumble of plots that are mostly not related, and they're all happening at once. Now, the acting in the movie is the best part of the movie. Most of the actors in the film are pretty good. They're let down by a relatively lackluster script and a rather odd character choice in how to portray Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor is the weak point in the movie because he's uninteresting. He isn't scary. He's just quirky. He's really, really quirky. He's the most dangerous goofball in the history of the world, and it doesn't work. Not at all. So, your leads: Henry Cavill is fine as Superman, just as good as he was in Man of Steel. Ben Affleck is good as Batman. I wasn't quite as impressed with him as other people seem to be. I'm not quite sure he was the best thing in the movie, but he was okay. Your other standouts, Jeremy Irons was a pretty good Alfred. I've already mentioned what Jesse Eisenberg did as Lex Luthor. Wasn't buying it. And Gal Gadot was a decent Wonder Woman. Nobody really embarrassed themselves. I don't even think Jesse Eisenberg embarrassed himself. I think the character was poorly conceived, well acted, but poorly conceived. I already mentioned that the pacing of the movie was not really good. It was really slow, definitely something that will bore children and maybe even teenagers. I wasn't bored with it, but it was noticeably slow. You do look at your watch a couple of times during the movie, and you will be like, get on with it. In terms of tone, both literally and physically, it's a dark film. Most of these scenes take place at night, and honestly, the film is it's a bleak, nasty, unhappy movie. And thematically, honestly, it's a movie where the message of the film is that heroes don't make a difference. It's pretty much a movie in which no matter how hard the heroes try to make a difference, the most they can do is stop the bad things from happening after they've they stop the bad things from continuing to happen. They don't prevent them from happening. In fact, this is a movie, it's just like Man of Steel, where the world would have been a better place if the heroes hadn't shown up. Thousands upon thousands of people would still be alive if there wasn't a Superman. And that's this movie. The only upside in this movie at all is the acting. The downside, I mentioned the poor pacing, the oddball characterization of Lex Luthor, how bleak and unhappy the film is, and honestly, the fact that Lex Luthor doesn't have any motivation at all. What he's doing, there's no reason why he's doing it. In fact, if he wanted to happen what he wants to happen in the movie, um, all he had to do is do nothing. He wants a fight between Batman and Superman. If he had done nothing, they would have fought anyway. In fact, the reason why they stopped fighting is because they figured out he was manipulating them. If he had done nothing, just sat back and done nothing, he would have gotten what he wanted. And he still didn't have a reason why he wanted it to happen, other than the fact that he's super, super quirky. I mean, not even really particularly evil, just quirky and amoral to the point of just, it's almost mustache twirling how oddball evil he is. It's just dumb. This film for me is 2 stars. I would have liked to have gotten it up to 2.5 stars because it was not boring, but there's just too much too wrong with it for it to go any higher than 2 stars. 2 stars, Batman versus Superman, Dawn of whatever.